What if I told you that the thing society taught you to fix about yourself is actually your greatest superpower? Picture this. You're in a meeting, everyone's talking over each other, competing for attention, and you're sitting there, observing, thinking deeply, but inside, there's this voice whispering, "Why can't I be like them? Why am I so quiet?" Sound familiar? Here's the thing nobody tells you. We live in a world that won't stop talking, a world that celebrates the loudest voice in the room, the most extroverted, the most outgoing. But what if that's the trap? What if, while everyone else is performing, you're the one actually seeing what matters? Let me show you something that will change how you see yourself forever. Think about the greatest innovations in human history, the breakthroughs that changed everything. Most of them didn't come from conference rooms full of people shouting ideas. They came from quiet minds, working alone, diving deep into problems everyone else was too distracted to solve. The person who reflects before speaking isn't weak, they're strategic. The person who needs alone time isn't antisocial. They're recharging a mind that processes the world differently, deeper, more carefully. The person who listens more than they talk, they're collecting information everyone else is missing. But here's what breaks my heart. Right now, there's someone watching this who has spent years trying to change who they are, forcing themselves to be more outgoing, feeling exhausted after social events, and thinking something's wrong with them. You've been told, speak up more, be more confident, put yourself out there, and every time you couldn't, you felt like a failure. But what if you're not failing? What if you're just playing the wrong game? So here's the what if that changes everything. What if instead of trying to become louder, you embraced your depth? What if the world doesn't need another person yelling opinions? It needs someone who thinks before they speak. What if your sensitivity to stimulation isn't a flaw, but the reason you notice details others miss? What if solitude isn't loneliness? It's where your best ideas are born. Imagine a world where we stop treating one personality type as the default and another as something to fix. Picture this version of reality. You walk into that meeting and instead of feeling pressure to perform, you know your value. While others rush to fill the silence, you wait, you observe, and when you finally speak, people actually listen because what you say has weight. You stop apologizing for needing time alone. You stop saying, "Sorry, I'm just an introvert," like it's a disease. Instead, you say, "I process things deeply. That's my strength." You build a life that works with your nature, not against it. A career where deep focus is rewarded. Relationships where substance matters more than small talk. A daily routine that energizes you instead of draining you. And this isn't just theory, this is reality, waiting for you to claim it. Some of the most influential people in history succeeded not despite their quiet nature, but because of it. They thought differently, worked differently, and changed the world from their own corner of it. The revolution doesn't need to be loud. Sometimes, the most powerful movements start with a whisper. So here's what I want you to do right now. Think about one thing you've been criticizing yourself for. Maybe it's needing time alone. Maybe it's not being the life of the party. Maybe it's overthinking everything. Now ask yourself, what if that's not a weakness? What if that's exactly what makes you, you? Drop a comment and tell me, what's one quiet trait you're ready to stop apologizing for? And if this video made you see yourself differently, even just a little, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Because chances are you know someone who's been fighting their own nature for way too long. Remember, the world is loud enough. What it needs more of is depth, the unspoken truth. See beyond the surface.